Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Get Growing Weekly Work Session with Get Oiling. I am Coach Ashley. We are joined today by founder Greg Kilwine and Jessica, Kim, and Colin from our team. Amanda couldn't make it today. Say hi, everybody.
Hello, hello,
Hi.
welcome. How's it going, everybody?
Hello.
Welcome everyone. We're excited to have you. If you are brand new here, this is a live call that we offer every single week for free to anyone looking to grow Young Living as a business. Today, we're going to be getting into some marketing 101 with copywriting. This is kind of a big topic that I want to kind of break down and deliver some context to you today around specifically how to use copywriting in your Young Living business and how to grow with that and use our system. This is really, you guys, if there is one thing, and I think I have a slide that says something to this effect that you'll see here in just a little bit. If there's one thing in your business that you should not outsource until you have a seven-figure business, this is the thing. This is the most important thing. If you have a business on the internet, and you at some point are writing a thing or saying a thing or posting a thing that might ideally get people to you and have people take action, of course, if they're already your members, for instance, you need to know how to say what you need to say, how to show up as who you are, and how to get into your right person's head so that they know you're talking to them and they want to take action. So we're going to talk about what that looks like today. We're also going to do a website review. We had one person confirmed, and then of course where we have the additional time and space, we're going to add to that. And we've got some exciting promos to share with you guys today. If you are not currently a member of Get Oiling, or you've got teammates who are maybe on the fence thinking about maybe getting started with us, we've got some great reasons for you to get started or go annual today. So we'll get to that here in just a little bit. For now, I'm going to share my screen. All right, please let me know. Oh, and yeah, guys, why do I always do this? I'm stopping my video and now I'm sharing. All right, if you all could do the same, thank you so much. Let me see, here we
Yep,
go.
I can see your screen too. It looks good.
Perfect, thank you, Greg. All right, so today we're going to talk about how to write things that people actually want to read and take action on. This is Copywriting 101 for Young Living. Now, today, if you've got questions, if you came here and you didn't have a question about copywriting, but something entirely different, no worries, go ahead and add that to the Q&A. This is a live work session, so we can work with you live to help you resolve whatever you came with, whatever frustrations or struggles or headaches or road bumps you found. We can help you blow through them today on this call. Go ahead and add your questions to the Q&A. Now, in today's training, we're going to talk about what exactly copywriting is, the 6 keys to writing great copy, and some of my tricks to start using right now to actually have great copywriting come to you easy so that your posts and your emails are effective and get people engaged and have them take action in the way that you want them to. We're also going to talk about our Diamond Bound promos that are going on right now, and we will have some live Q&A and website reviews. After this training, you'll actually get to see a live Get Oiling website from one of our members, and that person will receive feedback from me directly. If you want a website review in the future, or right now, if it'll let you do it, there's one spot left for today as I say this. You go to getoiling.com/website review, follow the instructions there, and hop on the calendar. All right, so if you want to get on this list and you are seeing this later as a recording and you want to join one of these live sessions, get over to getoiling.com/weekly work session so you never miss a beat. Now, quick show of hands for those of you here today. How many of you have ever felt intimidated by writing an email or a blog post or a social post? Quick show of hands. Have you ever felt intimidated when you sit down to actually write something? You want people to take action on this. Maybe you want to write about a promo, or maybe you want to share an upcoming event that you have. How many of you have ever felt intimidated by this? How about this? Here's another question for you. How many of you have spent an hour to write one email or one social post? Yes, this is not an uncommon problem. We have all struggled with this. I have myself, and on tough days, I guess, when I've got brain fog or what have you, or I'm not clear or prepared, I even deal with the same things. This is totally natural and normal. We're going to talk about how we can break through these things on our call here today. So first, what is copywriting? What copywriting is, or copy if you hear it in shorthand, it is literally any and all words you use in your business. period. This is everything. It's subject lines, emails, texts, blurbs about what you have, what you do, who you are, bios, website copy, social posts. All of this is copy. All of this is copywriting, okay? What copywriting is for your business is the means by which people, absent you being there, being the person speaking directly to them live face to face, it is the way people get to know, like, and trust you, and how you are then able to influence and sell. Your words matter, and they matter so much. They are the most valuable part of what you are creating and putting out there to grow your business. What these words do is to communicate your brand, your business DNA, what it is that you're about, so that people can understand who you are and know that you're someone that they want to listen to, follow, and then, of course, follow in terms of taking action. And your copy is what helps people to instantly know what's in it for them. If you follow any of my training, I talk incessantly about the hyper short attention span that the modern human has on the internet. You are fighting against that all the time. If your copy is good and you're doing this right, people are going to know in an instant that you are right for them and take next steps. Or, of course, if they aren't right for you, they'll know and they can be on their merry way, right? This is what's going to help people know what is in it for them when they listen to you, when they read what you have to say, when they open your email, when they engage on your social post, and then, of course, why they should pay attention and then take action on what you're sharing. Now, again, I mentioned this earlier, you don't need to hire, importantly, and you don't have to be a professional copywriter. You don't need to go spend thousands and thousands of dollars in courses, although I will say, if you're going to invest in any specific skill for growing a business online, this is probably the most important one. So, I mean, if you were going to invest, I would say invest in a copywriting course. But here's the thing, you don't need to do that to start getting results this week. And I want to show you the shortcuts here today and give you the foundations. Copywriting, you guys, this is the one thing that you should not outsource until you have a 7-figure brand. Why? If you don't know who you are and who you're for, you're probably not going to make it to the 7 figures in the first place, right? Like, the good copywriting is part of what's going to get you that far in your business. And then, importantly, as with most things in business, you're not going to know how to outsource effectively or to have someone speak for you, right? To be able to write as though you do if you don't have that body of work to start with that is your own, that is your voice. There is no getting around this, and it's worth getting good at. And you know what? Once you're good at it, and it's not hard to do, it's actually kind of fun. It's freeing. All right, so let's talk about the 6 keys to great copy. Number 1, know your audience. Now, before you click off or you close your eyes, roll your eyes and say, yeah, okay, I've heard that before. Guys, this is the most important thing you need to know, right? If you don't know who you're selling to, you're not going to sell to anybody, right? How many of you, just as just a quick little survey here, I'm curious, how many of you guys are in one of Martha Caracci's programs, Go for Gold or Home-Based Revolution? A vast majority of you here probably, right? Okay, so what is the first thing that you learn in either of those programs? It's the bat signal, right? It's your personal brand. It's knowing who you are and who you serve, right? How many of you feel like that was a thing that took up an extraordinary amount of time for you to figure out compared to the rest of the steps in those respective courses? It's a lot of time, right? And you know why? It's the most important thing you need to know in your business. Period, right? So if you are invested in one of those programs and you're following those processes, understand that getting clear on your personal brand, your avatar, your person, who you serve, who you show up for, getting clear on who they are and how to talk to them is the most profitable thing you can do in your business, period. Okay? So for those of you who have felt stuck on that, understand it's a worthwhile thing to spend time on. Now let's talk about this. I want to help you get an idea as to how you can get more clarity on that even more quickly here where your copywriting is concerned. So when we're talking about knowing your audience, where copy is concerned, and remember, this is literally everything you write that goes online that has to do with your brand and business, okay? When you're writing, you are always writing to an audience of one person. You're writing like you're speaking to one person. Why? People don't like to feel like they're a number. People like to feel heard. And when you speak to them like you're speaking only to them, they will listen to what you have to say. Then you got to be clear and color in the lines. Who is this person? This isn't just a demographic set. This isn't women with an inflammatory condition. This is a woman who buys these brands, who likes these things, whose favorite color is this. This is a whole person, and you want to speak to that person. You want to be clear on what their biggest hopes and dreams are, because this is the stuff you're going to be speaking to. What we often get caught up in and absolutely fall flat on when we are out there trying to share Young Living is that we get caught up in our own facts and figures. We get caught up in the details of the product instead of talking about what their life will be like when they use it, right? That's the reason they buy. If you're tied into what their biggest hopes and dreams are, and you say, here is the thing that will lead you to the thing that you want, that's when they buy, right? Not because you listed the benefits or waxed poetic about seed to seal, right? Makes sense? Show of hands. Does that make sense? You got to be clear on what they really want so you can talk about it. And when you talk about it, they are going to love it, and they're going to listen, and they're going to do what you tell them to do. You also want to know what keeps them up at night. What are the things that are frustrating them? What stands in the way of what they want, of their hopes and dreams? Get clear on this, speak to this, show them a way around it, show them a way to solve it. And yes, before you say, oh, but Young Living can serve the whole world. Yes, of course it can. But there is enough of that one kind of person for you. This could not possibly be more applicable in this business model. You want your frontline, your people who you have personally enrolled, to be people that you personally want to work with, right? Right? Like you didn't get into this to have a job and just work with whoever else was hired, right? You're in this to build your business, attract the people you want to work with. And yes, there is enough of that right kind of person for you out there in the world right now. And if you're talking to everyone instead of just talking to that person, you are talking to no one, and no one will listen. If you've ever felt like you have done the work of writing, of posting and sharing, and you felt like you just got crickets, this is typically a key reason why that happens, because we are muddling our message and not clearly speaking to the person that we know we want to reach. Now let's talk about who that person is and some tricks that you can use to figure out who they are. All right, so there's basically 3 ways that I recommend looking at this. First, have you ever brought someone on board, or you work with someone, maybe they're sideline of you, maybe they're upline, downline, who knows? They don't necessarily have to be a personal enrolled for you. Have you ever had someone who is something like that in the Young Living universe for you, who you just wish, like you've maybe caught yourself saying, I would love to have 100 of this person on my team? Quick show of hands. Have you ever felt that way about somebody? I want 100 of this person working with me. I love working with this person. This is so fulfilling. And maybe you don't have to babysit, and maybe they take action on their own, right? Whatever those criteria are, you have somebody very likely that you already know that you would want to have more of in your business. This is a great place to start. This can also be someone who is sort of a patchwork representation of the person that you want to work with. If maybe you haven't really started working with anyone yet, or you're not quite sure that a single person fits the mold, then basically what you're going to do is kind of patchwork together, Mr. Potato Head together, your ideal avatar, your ideal person with those traits and qualities and interests and values that reflect the person that you want to work with. And then finally, and this is often very easy for someone in Young Living because you get such extraordinary results from the products that you use, from the lifestyle that you're able to build as a result of being part of this community, is that you are speaking to an earlier version of yourself. No matter where you are today, you are on an advanced step of your journey compared to where you started. And there are millions of people, if you turn around and look, who are struggling to get from step 1 to step 2, and you are qualified to help them do it. Who is that person? All right, these are 3 ways that you can actually figure out who that person is so that you can start really articulating and defining the qualities of that person, what their hopes and dreams are, what their fears, their frustrations are, and ultimately you can speak to them more effectively. Now, Now you know who they are and what they want. It's time to sell them what they want and not what you think they need. It is so, so very important that in our writing and in the things that we share in posts, we're not making this about us, right? Yes, we're showing up as sort of an authority, but we're not authorities because we want to stand on a pedestal or be famous. We're authorities because we know what we're talking about and we're here to help someone else get a result that they want, right? Jim Rohn said, if you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want, right? That's what we're here to do. You help them get what they want. So you need to communicate from that ideal person's point of view and not your own, right? This means drop the jargon. Okay, if somebody is not fully inducted into the Young Living universe, stories about seed to seal and details of products and programs and PV and OGV and all of this jargony stuff that you may be steeped in because you love this company does not translate as anything meaningful whatsoever to an uninitiated person who should be your lead, right? They will be interested if you're talking about what they want, not what you think they need. Then you got to get clear on what's in it for them. What is that bigger goal or dream that you can help them achieve? What is that frustration you can help them avoid? What is the result you can help them get that you know that they want? And then what's the big why behind them taking action? Why would they bother to do this in the first place? You really got to get into the head of this person. That's why it's so critical that this is one person. And then remember those goals and frustrations, because the context here is always going to be more critical than whatever details you think they need to know. What people want to know is that they can get a result they want. They don't care about how it gets done until they've made the commitment to get it done with you. So focus on what they want, okay? Now we're going to talk about intention. And this is, now that we're clear on who this is and how we want to talk to them, now we've got to get our head right. We have got to seek to serve them first. That's how this works. People can smell when they're being sold. They can detect ulterior motives. If you aren't showing up heart first, service first, people can tell. This is also a common culprit for crickets, when you don't get email opens or you post and people don't respond. You've got to make this about them and what they want. Make what you write, your blogs, your posts on social media. Ask people questions. Ask them to talk about themselves and be present to be part of that conversation. Those opportunities are abundant for you if you have this mindset for you first. Also, you want to make sure, again, in terms of motivation, that you are not writing from a place of need, but from a place of service. And from an understanding that if you are of service, the money will follow, okay? And then you've got to start out, before you write, with a clear outcome in mind for them, and then tell them how to get it, right? If you're going to show them how they can get a result, you're going to be clear on what the steps are that you're going to share, and then you're going to write the way through it, right? Now we're going to get real. Clear over clever will always, always win. I see folks get hung up on this so often. So what should I name my group and what should I call this, name that? And we get really super cutesy and we think that that's going to make us stand out. But really what that ultimately can wind up doing is just confuse the heck out of the person that you really want to be reaching. So it's always, always best for you to be as straightforward as possible. And then if you want to edit in something that feels clever and makes sense and has a little bit more of a ring to it, that's fine. It may not be necessary. You've got to get clear first. So ditch the formal language when you're writing. The best trick to get this done is to write like you talk. And I'm going to share some tips on how to do that here in just a little bit. Your English teacher should be upset with what you produce in your copy, in your emails in particular, okay? All of those grammatical rules about prepositions at the end of sentences and sentence fragments and things like that, you throw those out the window with your copy. Why? People hear what they read in their head, and they need to read something that sounds like your voice, and we don't speak in complete perfect sentences in this day and age, okay? Be yourself as well, you guys. You don't need to, basically, if you sit down and you start to write with a concern or worry or idea of how you want people to think of you when they read it, you are not going to be authentic, okay? If you're worried about what people will think of you, you will not be authentic or get the result that you want. Here's the thing, and I don't care what your individual views are or how controversial you think they may be to some people. Your people want to hear that from you, right? People don't want to hear a watered down vanilla version of who you are and what you are here for. Your people need you out there in your full authenticity. If we lack our authenticity, we will hear crickets. People don't want fake, okay? Your people need to hear from you, not an idealized version of who you think you need to be or some future version of yourself or you as you compare yourself to whomever. People need to hear from you and you right now, okay? And get personal. People need to be let into your life some, you know, talk about your dog or your kids or your hobby or something that happened to you when you were in line at the grocery store or whatever, right? So that they can relate. When you share a story about yourself, it's not that you're not making it about them anymore. You're actually inviting them into more of a relationship with you. And that's something that you want to introduce as often as is possible. People are following you. People are not going to follow you to follow Young Living. They could just go follow the Young Living blog if they want to follow Young Living. They're following you because of you, right? So get personal, let your own life in, share anecdotes, let people see who you really are. And this applies not just to your copy, but to your social as well. It's really easy to get a little too curated and highlight really on especially places like Instagram. People love it when you get real and they can relate to you. All right, now we get real, we get loose, okay? Look, great copy is rarely grammatically correct. Like I mentioned before, your English teacher should be upset with what you write. All right, your sentence fragments, slang, and contractions are your friends. Remember, you gotta write like you speak. And then open up and be yourself. This is the quickest way to build trust and attract your people. And more importantly, even at times, again, you want your personals to be people that you want to be personally associated with, right? You will also, in being yourself and letting loose with this and being authentic, repel who you aren't meant to serve. And I promise you, if you feel like you have been struggling to get your first person, your first personal, or what have you, I please, in the comments, if you've ever made a commission that that wasn't worth the money, go ahead and let people know that I know what I'm talking about, right? You want to make sure that you are really attracting the right people and allowing the people who you aren't really meant to serve to peacefully go on their way, right? All right, now you want to be clear on what's next for them. It is okay to tell people what to do next. You are not bossy for telling people what to do next, and you are not annoying for being repetitive. Understand this. If you put the same information out in a group and in an email and on a blog post, very few people are going to actually see and interact with all three of those things. We are hyper aware and hypercritical and hyper worried about the things that we do and how we show up and how we're seen. And the idea that we have in our head of how we're perceived, and this is true across the board, no matter what we're talking about, the idea we have in our head of how we are perceived by others is a completely different story from the truth. Okay? So tell people what to do. It's really okay. It's actually how you help them get what they want, right? And be absolutely specific in your calls to action. Tell people what they need to do next. People will do what you say, right? They will follow the steps that you prescribe. If they're reading your emails, if they're on your list, if they're following your social, they're there because they want to be, right? So why not help them get the result that they want? They will thank you for being clear and telling them exactly what they need to do, okay? And then reiterate what's in it for them. Remembering this is not about you making a sale. This is not about your ER percentage. This is about you helping people see how they can help themselves, how you can help them, right? Not about selling a Young Living kit. This is about you transforming lives, facilitating those transformations. And the more of those you do, the money will come, right? So be clear for them, what's in it for them. Serve them first. Keep that mindset and it will guide your copy and you will never sound salesy or weird, all right? So I was gonna do 4, but I went ahead and added 6. These are 6 ways to start writing like a pro today. First, your mindset. Check your mindset. Write this down or an affirmation similar to it and keep it near you when you are going to write. You were made to change lives and your people are waiting for you to show up. There are enough people that are your people in this world for you to receive the abundance that is coming for you. You were made to serve those people and they're waiting for you to show up in your authenticity, tell them what's in it for them and show them what to do next, okay? Now, if you have a block, if you sit down and you just can't figure out, like, I just can't say this right, or you feel frustrated about it, right? Record yourself saying exactly what you want people to hear, and then just transcribe it as it sounds. It sounds kind of silly, sounds like it might take a lot of time, but this is literally how you can get yourself to write how you speak. This can be something that you evolve into over a period of time, right? Record yourself and you'll get there faster. You can hear what you say out loud and write it down so that your writing reflects your speech patterns. People will engage with it more readily because it's easier for them to read and digest, okay? Oh, and you know what? This is a tip I totally forgot. Please write this down. Please grab a pen, write this down. Go find people who are showing up online the way you want to and subscribe to their updates and their emails and analyze their website. Pay attention to what they're saying and take notes. Success leaves clues, and there is no absolute perfect scientific formula for what we're talking about today, and you will be inspired by the people who inspire you. So engage with that stuff, immerse yourself in the language of this that other people are doing successfully, and you will start to see ways that you can make shifts for yourself. All right. Now, another tip, stay focused on your person. What can help here, and I learned this trick from Marie Forleo, you take a picture of the person that you are writing to, right? So if your ideal person is someone who's in your organization, grab their picture from Facebook or whatever and put it in your Word document as you are composing whatever the email is that you want to write, right? And it's sort of a mental trick. You put their name at the front of each passage. And you say, you know, hey, so-and-so, you're speaking to them. Now you're writing like you're writing to them directly. And then all you have to do when you go over to Get Oiling and you're, you know, maybe putting this into an email is to just swap out their name with the tag code that says contact first name. And now when the person that you're receiving, who you're sending this to, whether that be one person receiving this or 10,000 people receiving this, they're going to read it like you wrote it just for them. And that's what you want to happen. Now, read it out loud. This is another great tip if you want to check yourself and make sure that this flows well and that it's not weird or stuffy and that it sounds like you, is to read it back to yourself out loud. People will hear what you're saying as they read it. So ask yourself if it sounds like you. Then pre-write. Pre-write. I talk about this with Get Oiling all the time. If you're going to write something for the website, if you're going to write an email, whatever it is, don't try to figure out tech and the creative side, the copywriting of what you're trying to do at the same time. It's a recipe for burnout, okay? Write it first in a way that's comfortable to you. The way that I recommend doing this is just opening a Google Doc or, you know, whatever word processor you like to use and just write in there. Then you copy, paste, and reformat in Get Oiling, and you're only engaging with tech once you're on our platform, right? Write it first, then take it to the tech. And then finally, keep at it. Your copywriting will only improve with practice. And the time to start writing was like yesterday, guys. So start doing this now and commit to getting better by doing it consistently and following these tips and tricks to improve what you're doing, right? Don't ever feel like you failed and you should stop. You will only get better at this by doing. All right, so we're gonna pop this over to Greg, who's gonna share some Diamond Bound promos, and then we are going to get into some live Q&A and website reviews.
Thank you. Ashley, can you make me a, I guess, co-host here? I want to share my screen with the promos on it.
Sure thing. Living.
There it is. All right. Here we go. So for those of you who haven't heard, the Diamond Mountain event was, I think, last weekend, and we were in the store, which was really cool. But if you didn't see that, and didn't get to, check us out here, we have a lovely promo that we're running right now. This is on the sign up page, and it's also right on getoiling.com. But like Ashley was saying earlier, if you've got new people who haven't taken the leap, or if you're interested in upgrading to annual, and you're on a monthly payment right now, we can, get you in on some of these bonuses too. So the biggest one here is the free two-way texting. So if you create a new account and sign up annually, it does come with a year free of two-way texting. Currently, that's a $99 a year value. It's first year. They would charge you again the next year for it. Or if you're on a monthly plan, or if you go with a monthly plan, it will give you free two-way texting for 3 months. So that's, I think, a $27 value there too. Two-way texting is, for those of you who don't know, you get your own phone number that you can send and receive texts and phone calls from right through Get Oiling. It works with your current phone number. Like if somebody calls it, it'll ring your phone. Somebody sends you a text, you'll be alerted. You can reply through that number. It's all sorts of awesome stuff. You can do text in keywords. So the free two-way texting is a really powerful add-on, and a lot of people really love it. So it's now you can, join during this promo time, which ends is that Sunday night, whatever 4 days is from now. There's a timer on the page, so you can see when it exactly ends. And also we do give you, if you're interested and you're not already in Go for Gold, there is a coupon code we can get you for, I think it's more than half off right now, which is awesome. And then do also give you the bonus for extra marketing credits per month for the life of your account. And this is another big one. It's 1,000 extra marketing credits per month if you go with an annual plan, or 200 extra per month if you go with a monthly plan. And yeah, that's, I guess, forever for the life of your account. To put it in perspective, like with the basic plan currently, and these may change in the future if you're watching this down the road, but right now the basic plan includes, I believe it's 6,000 marketing credits per month. So this is an extra 1,000 on top of that if you go with annual. So it's a pretty big percentage. Marketing credits allow you to send emails and texts out of the system. So like in the case of 1,000 extra marketing credits, that's 1,000 extra emails you could send every month. Text messages is kind of different, it's a lower number, but you can still send quite a few more. And then, this is included the $1 first month on monthly plans, and then, the 1 month free for annual plans. So it does save you some money there. And then if you go with the Pro or Diamond annual plan, you do get a 60-minute one-on-one consultation with Ashley here, which is really an awesome bonus on those two plans. So again, yeah, this is eligible for new people, or if you have an existing account and you're paying month to month and you want to switch to an annual plan, then you can do that. If you want to do that, send us an email, support@getoiling.com. We'll have to help you out on our end. The billing system doesn't have an auto switch. So we run that for you. We can totally take care of that, on your behalf. So yeah, those are the exciting promos we have running through here. I think it is through the end of the night on Sunday, if I'm doing my math correctly. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you so you can take advantage of that. Sarah asked here quick in the chat on that. Thank you. Is there a discount for switching to the annual plan? It does include a 1 month free on an annual basis. So basically, instead of paying for 12 months, like if you sign up for, let's say, the basic plan, you would pay for 12 months basically, whatever that cost would be. With an annual plan, you'd end up with, you pay for 11 months and get 12 months worth of service. So essentially, you get a month free when you go annual too. So it's an additional bonus, as well as if you go annually, we include a free domain, or I believe the free domain with the annual plans too. So if that's another expense that you don't have to deal with on your end. Or if you have another domain, let us know and we can figure out something else to go with it, like an email address or some such thing like that. So yes, anyway, if you have some additional questions, I see a bunch of questions coming in on the chat about if you have annual. It kind of depends on your account. That's something you just, certainly email us. We can look at your account and, take a look at the specifics. to see if there's, something else, if you got in on previous promos that already have the credits, we can figure out something on that and go from there. So cool.
All
Back to
right.
you, Ashley.
Yeah. All right. So where is Kara Johnson? Kara, are you here? Can you raise your hand for me, please? Hey, hey. All right. I'm going to allow you to talk and we're going to take a look at your website. How's it going?
Good. How about you?
Great. Thanks for being willing to come on and share this with us today. So tell us a little bit about what you're wanting to do with your site here and what kind of advice you're looking for.
Yeah, so I guess I keep tweaking it and revamping it, and it just feels like it's not quite there yet. I am in the HBR, so I've started kind of doing some of that branding. But I guess I'm just more looking to see, like, could there be a better flow, or, is there, some of the graphics, are they the right size and those kind of things?
Okay. All right, so I like where you're going with these two things where you've kind of got like so when you're branding something, if you could think back to like the literal definition of like, let's say branding cattle, right? Like you're taking the same thing and you're stamping it on all the things. That's like what logos do and things like that. What you're doing here with this kind of rose background, this muted rose background, I think is a great thing to do. I would encourage you, if you're going to have a collection of things, to adopt a degree of consistency. So that could mean that you have the same degree of opacity on the actual image. It could mean that you have the same color overlay, same degree of saturation, something like that, just to kind of keep things visually, on the same level, right? To kind of brand what you're seeing. But most importantly, most importantly, is right up here. This is really good that you are welcoming them and you're letting them know that you're a nurse and what you're passionate about, right? This is a good start. What I would recommend that you do, if you're going to be introducing yourself, is have a big picture of you here, a big smiling, happy picture of you here, in lieu of this background. The other thing that I would recommend is that you, like we were talking about today, kind of get into the head of your one person that you really want to be helping and figure out, how do you say to them in a sentence, I help you, person like you, get this result that I know that you want. And then you offer them a way to take next steps on that. So what you want to do up here above the fold, so like a newspaper, the most important stories are above the fold, so you see it when it's laying down, right, or when it's on the stack of newspapers, right? So what you want to have up here is something to that effect, where you have big, large, obvious, hey, I help you person, and this is where you get to call them out, right? If you're really clear on who they are, I help moms of littles, get their schedule right so that they can, thrive while they're homeschooling, right? Like that's what we're looking for here. So, you want to just come up with a message that really speaks straight to your person. And then where your free downloads are concerned, I mean, right now people are just scrolling down because, oh, she has free stuff, I wonder what it is. But your free thing that you're offering should be right up here, and you should have a button right there with it and a clear call to action. So, hey, I help you get this result. Here's a little piece of it that you can have right now for free. Click here to get it. And then that's, then you put your button here, and that's where you have your lead form pop up, where you're offering that thing to them. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you would kind of still have that same paragraph of sorts, and then add your main freebie right there. Like, this is what I'm helping you with. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of format, yeah, picture and big, and this is a good size in terms of the font and the proportion up here at the top. You just want it to be a little bit more clear as to who this is for and what they're going to get. Because what we want to do, because most people don't come back to websites unless they are subscribed to them, right? So what we want to do when they land here is to get them to see why they should take action right now if they're your right person, so that we've grabbed them and can keep in touch with them. So I would take one of these things, keeping peace in your home. Let's just say you've created a lead magnet here. So who is the person that needs peace in their home? Why do they need peace in their home? Answer the fill in the blanks so they can what, right, that they want. Make that the message here, and then offer your guide or whatever you want to name it that helps them to get those results. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. So this is so cute. I like this. Let's see. What is the idea cloud? Ooh, what is it? You answered the question. I love it when that happens. It's excellent. All right. So I would recommend as well that maybe if this is something that is sort of a key thing for you, that you, where did it go? Let me go back over here. Down here you could say, hey moms, do you need benefit of this idea cloud thing? And then they go over to this page, because it just says the idea cloud and we have no idea what the context is. But if you've got a message about it over here, where you say in my, in my downloads or my freebies, or, maybe it's resources, in this case, you've got purchase, but yeah, like actually provide some context on the main page. And I think that would be really helpful for you.
Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. So, if you are, if would you say, and I know you're in Martha's program, so I'll just use bat signal here. Would you say that your bat signal is one that is business focused? Like, are you, is this sort of a main deal for you?
That's what I've been leaning towards. That's the big question, is like, where can I help moms? Because I was a nurse, now I'm at home. That's kind of been revealed to me that like, that's might be more my bat signal, is like, how can I help moms get to that point too? But I'm not sure how to narrow it down. So like, I created that lead magnet, but I don't know how to get it farther, if you know what I mean. Like,
got you. Yeah. So maybe what you put up here is you say, hey, and put your face here, put you with your kids or something like that here. That is you. Especially since you're branding yourself, they need to see Kara when they get here.
Okay.
So what you say here is something to the effect of, hey, I'm Kara. I was a nurse and now I stay home with my kids. I help moms who want to transition from the professional world to staying home without sacrificing quality of life and keeping their sanity at the same time. Here's my guide to have peace at home, right? And that's it. And please watch this as a recording so you can write that on your website.
Yes, totally.
Because I'm not gonna be able to repeat it to you. But yeah, like that's the idea here. So I mean, when you think about your bat signal, it's not just like one thing. It's not just like I want to talk to nurses who want to like retire. You're talking to a worldview. A person who shares a number of different kind of patchwork ideas and values with you, who would be a great fit in a community among others of like mind. And so that can ultimately lead to you offering any number of things, and including this. I mean, this can be the thing that you put up here at the top. Absolutely.
Okay.
You can put that guide here, and it's not a thing that you have to keep there forever either. Test out an offer like this for 90 days. Right. And then, switch it out, use the same formula, big picture, copy, here's what's in it for you. I help you get this. Here's this other thing that I'm offering. And then of course you're emailing about that and then pointing people back over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes it a lot more clear for sure.
Excellent. And oh, this is cool. I like that you have your story on a separate page.
Yeah, it was just too long to have on my main page. And that's always kind of a work in progress too, is trying to narrow it down to get really to the point. But
oh, that's fine. That's the thing is when you have a dedicated page like this on your website, this can be as long as you want it to be. The people who make it to the bottom of it are people who really care enough to know. And if they make it all the way to the bottom, they're going to want to click this button and take next steps. So, that's good. So be linking to this page from the bottom of your emails and your email signature. Link to this page from your bios so people can see your story, because they can still come over here and peruse your site, right? But send them to this page so that they can learn about you. If they're on from your about section, right? It needs to be people that like have a relationship with you already. It's great. I love what you're doing. This is good. These are great content titles as well. I think it would be smart for you as well to start kind of sprinkling in some content that is a little bit more about business, or not about business, you know what I mean? But like kind of speaking to, ways you can start to transition out of a job, or, how I left my nursing career or something like that.
Okay.
If that is going to be a primary message that you want to use, you want to make sure that you have content that supports it. So it
Yeah,
makes
no,
sense to
that's
them.
good. Yep, yep.
Awesome. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't think so. That really clears quite a few things up. So I think that gives me some more direction and where to go, because I literally just revamped it again like last week. So like this is still like work in progress.
Uh-huh. Excellent. Well, I'm proud of the work that you've done, and you should be too. And I'm excited to see where you go with it next.
Perfect. All right. Thank you very much, Ashley.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming out.
Yep.
All right, Paula, you volunteered. Please come out. Pastor Paula, where are you at? Can you raise your hand for me? Thank you. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Great. I am excited to chat with you. So you wanted to re-review your modified homepage?
Yeah, and I just modified it while I listened to you talk.
Oh, really? Okay. Awesome. So let's see. I help people find whole self wellness, joy, balance, and divine peace. I love it. I love it. I love it. So two things. Number one, I would consider a less scripty font for this. I want
Okay.
this to be just and here's the reason why, right? Like, this is kind of like, this speaks to the clear over clever point I was making earlier. We want this to be cognitively as easy as possible to get through someone's brain as quickly as possible. Right? We want to
Okay.
just grab and remove any obstacles because when you have a scriptier font like this, it can be a little harder for the brain to process it as quickly. And I'm telling you, the attention span is so short. You have such a small window of time to grab that attention. Now, the second thing I would say is to actually have a call to action attached to this. So I help people find whole self wellness, joy, balance, and divine peace. Get my 5-minute meditation here.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yes. Good.
You have something like that, don't you?
I do.
Perfect. So that way, again, people are able to take that bold, quick, I saw that. Oh, you do that? I need that in my life. And if that's the right person, that's going to be such a great lead for you, and you will have gotten them right away. All right. And then of course, if they are still interested, they can keep reading. And if you have this up here up top, and that's their opportunity to be like, whoop, 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 who's this? Okay, they're either going to say, all right, yeah, I want that thing, that would be great, or they're going to keep reading, right? That is a reason to keep going. So this is good. Was that the main change that you made? Did you do more?
I put that little bag on the side there, on the right. Yeah, that purple bag.
Uh-huh. This is cute. So this is, it's a little bit less of a, people might be curious, right? But these are going to be people who are already oily, which is fine. I'm sure that with the rest of the work that you do, you probably would have clients who are not in Young Living who are oily too, right? So,
Yes.
so there is an opportunity to bring that up, and let's see. Oh, this is so cute. Yeah, good job. This is good, and you now know, based on, I think last week was it, you can actually charge for this right from the site if you wanted to.
Yes. Oh no, I'm giving that one free, but I have another one that I am charging for. Yeah, that one's free if they enroll with me. And then there is actually one on the little menu up at the top right where they can actually pay for it through the landing page.
Ah, I see. Oh, there it is. You already did that. You're such a quick study. I love it. All right, back to Paula's page. You got this nice menu here. Excellent. I like that. One of the things that you could do to make this a little bit more effective as well, and this could just maybe be in a separate section, is to say, if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with oils, and I'm on a mission to make others obsessed with oils too. If you want to learn more and get this cute little free bag, here's where you go to learn more. Just to give it just a little bit more. Awesome. Yeah, because right now the way that the value proposition is really positioned right now is just like, you know, hey, if you love oils, and if they're here and they already love oils, they may already be with Young Living, right?
Yeah, or that could be with another. It could be, you know, bath, you know,
They could
over
maybe.
the counter.
It's possible.
Do you think I should move that down further or leave it there?
I think it's fine. I don't think it hurts anything being where it is, because I mean,
Okay.
where the eye goes first is to your face, and then your message directly to them. So I think this is fine.
Okay, and then at the very bottom, I put a footer on there.
Okay. Ooh, this is good. Good job with this. This is so bold. That pink background is fantastic. Okay, footer. Ooh, look at that. This is great. Good job. And you got this down at the bottom too, not just on the pop-up. Paula,
Yeah,
this is
that's
excellent.
the footer. That was actually the course where they can pay for it. The other one is a free guide.
Okay, fantastic. No, this is really, really good. Good job.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, keep up the good work. You're doing good stuff.
Thank you.
Appreciate
you.
Yes, we appreciate you too. All right, y'all, we got some Q&A that we can get into. All right, so Crystal says, I free flow write when I'm pulled to do so, and then get stuck when I go to figure out if it's a blog, ebook, guide, or post, and where to put it to help, for it to help the most. When I attempt to write with an outline, I struggle to write. I would love some pointers. So I like using outlines for topics first, so that I can map out. I call this mapping your message. You'll find that in basically any course that I've ever created or contributed to. Mapping your message is basically just providing a repository of ideas that you can keep organized so you know what you want to write about. Now, if you are someone who really needs to kind of flow and do a bunch of writing, then what I would do, again, in that instance, and this, to be fair, my very blue brain needs me to get onto outlines, right? If I just stay free form and free flow, say that 10 times fast, I become way too sort of esoteric and just not really focused. So I think it's always important, in my view, to go back to an outline, because you always need to be able to return to the same format, right? So free write to get the things flowing in your head, and then go take from what you free wrote and say, these are the three main points. Because you're gonna wanna summarize or provide some kind of specific copy in the title of what you're writing, whether that is an email or a blog post, it's going to have a header, right? So you're going to say, you know, the 3 ways to, the 4 things to, the 8 things I did, or whatever, right? So you're going to need to kind of visit this from a conceptual outline format so that you're clear on what the top points and topics are. It's easier to create flow if you determine structure first. So even if you have to go through sort of a cloud of free writing in order to get to a place where you know what you want to say, you still want to use that as source material and not primary material, right? So plug that into an organized structure. All right, Sarah says, I'm struggling to understand the difference between the lead and specialty group in terms of content specifically to my bat signal. So Sarah, inside of the Go for Gold student group, there is a groups masterclass in the unit section where Martha and I spent maybe close to 2 hours on this very topic and what the kinds of things are that should go into those. So this is definitely something that I would recommend that you hit up that course material for. You know, really the difference in terms of content between lead and specialty is that specialty is, I mean, that's something that should be reserved for people who pay or who would pay, and it's a thing that you get only if you're a member. Lead is sort of, anything for leads is kind of an appetizer, right? When they're not leads anymore and they're your member or your customer, that's when they get the entree. That's kind of the best succinct way I could put that without, you know, kind of breaking integrity on that being Martha's course. Okay. All right. So let's see. So in terms of your bat signal, Sarah, specifically, and sort of like the value that you're offering, and I'm really sorry to hear about your dad. What I would say is that, again, you should be providing support and and being there for them, making it about them in your lead groups or in any lead content, right? If you're using a Facebook group, or if you are, creating a lead group on Get Oiling, or this is something that goes onto your blog or to an email list or on social posts, you need to be showing up trying to help someone else get a result. And what you're kind of doing on the lead side of things is you're just sort of dripping little resources that help them get little micro wins, little mini wins, to empower them and for them to see that if they come and work with you, then they'll be able to get the bigger thing that that they want to get accomplished. All right, Jen says, should blogs write as professional or just how you would speak? This is going to kind of depend on your brand. I would say, by and large, for a personal brand, you're gonna want to write like you speak. Now, I know you're green, or maybe you're not. Maybe I'm remembering that incorrectly from the personal branding intensive. But for those of you who are green, it is still important for you to write how you speak. And greens can often, speak with a little more specific accuracy of, of language. But yeah, I mean, by and large, what we're doing when we are putting ourselves out there, branding ourselves, we are not writing scholarly articles. This is not academic work we are doing. You guys, to actually look in that direction, I mean, even Lindsay Elmore, who is a scientist and who promotes Young Living, her copy is not clinical, right? She's a personal brand, you are too. So being professional is, it's not like you're not confined to a specific way of speaking in the personal brand space as a professional. Case in point, ever heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? Gary Vaynerchuk talks like he writes, and sometimes speaks like a sailor, and he is kind of one of the foremost professionals in the personal brand, copywriting, and online business space. So trust your voice, because it's yours, and use it. All right, Mary says, I don't see a link for slides in the email. Can you make them available? I have not made these available as a PDF, but that's a good idea. And perhaps I'll make that available when I email this out and then link them below the video. All right. Yeah, Sarah, again, I would encourage you to take that over to the Go for Gold student group. And then just remember that, that what you're doing is helping them get what they want, not what you think they need. All right, make sure that you're wording it that way, what they want, not what you think they need. And you're providing the appetizer to your leads, and you're providing the buffet to your people who sign on. All right. Diane says, if room today, would love help improving content, etc. All right, Diane, I will check out your page. If you're here, go ahead and raise your hand, and I'll go over this with you before we head off for today. Oh, where'd you go? Is your hand raised, Diane? Are you here? There you are. Hi. Come on out.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Excellent. All right. So this is a beautiful image. I like that a lot. It's good colors. It goes well with this new logo that you've created. All right. So tell me, what are we looking at here?
Sales page.
Okay.
For my specialty program. I'm in all Mater's things. So this is me finally putting together my course. I had in the past struggled between the group I wanted to serve and the my professional skills. So right here, I just went forward with what my professional skill is, which is teaching people pain relief, since I've been doing it for 32 years. My people are women wanting to make their second half better than their first, maybe struggle with focus, and want to have no regrets.
Okay, excellent. So this is great. So is Move Past Pain the name of the program?
Not currently.
Okay.
I picked my program. Yeah, it's called, at this point, it's called Pain-Free Living Basic Training.
Okay. So I would definitely encourage you to, somewhere up here and maybe on this image or somewhere very prominently that you brand the name of the program. So that's very clear that that's what they're buying. And then, you know, you'll say, have a blurb about it, right? So give the name of it, and this is, you know, move past pain in 2 weeks. And then down here, and this is where you want to say this, you know, literally, here's what you'll get, right? Or here's what this is about, so that you can kind of break this down a little bit further. Because it's a sales page, what you want to be able to do here is just kind of lead them through the discussion that they're having with themselves in their mind about, you know, why they like, what is this? Well, what's involved? Well, what are the steps? Well, how do I get it? How much is it, right? So you start, if you're doing a sales page effectively, you're kind of participating in and facilitating the flow of that conversation that they're having with themselves as they're reading through the page. So just be thinking about what those things are. And a couple of the main things that you do want to bring up is, what is this, who it's for, and then what's involved. You know, is this that we meet live? Is there a group on Facebook for support? Do we check in daily? Do we have a video, and how long is the video, and how many of them are there? That kind of thing. And so you fill those out. This is nicely formatted, right? So you don't have too many like blocks of text that are too chunky. You know, so this is good, but just make sure that you have a little bit more of, you know, details about what's involved in a way that kind of, again, think about the questions they're asking. Well, what is this? Well, who is it for? And you make those sections bold. So instead of saying 14-day pain relief training, you say, well, what is this exactly? What will we do together? How will you receive this? And literally use those words, because in a lot of cases, people aren't going to read every single word on the page, and you want to provide them with the sort of call outs for the things that you know they're going to be looking for. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Excellent. And then the other thing that I would recommend as well, and I know this is a sales page, and I don't know how you have your funnel structured prior to this, but if this is a standalone thing that you'll be linking off to from your website or from other places, I would highly recommend that you have a lead pop-up form on this that offers some tiny taste of this thing, so that people who aren't clear that they want to jump in on this yet are able to become your leads, right? So the only way for them to become their leads on this page right now is to text or call you. And, you know, if they're strangers on the internet, the likelihood of someone taking that action specifically is a little low, just because they're strangers on the internet. And we want to be able to, you know, basically lead them through any of the resistance that they have on the page itself. So if you maybe up here provide them a, you know, try out the first lesson for free, enter your name and email here, right? And then of course in your campaign, you can just keep pointing back to this page. Does that make sense?
When you first started talking about it, I thought that I would just send a button to get to my lead group. Would that be a good idea?
Well, since this is a sales page, the best thing to point off to from here, if they're not becoming a lead, is to, you know, have a buy now button that would take them over to. Are you going to deliver this in a vault, or?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so then you would just direct them over to the page for that vault so that they can pay for it and get in.
What in terms of the idea for what to give them before they want to pay? So you're saying?
Oh, got you. Yeah. So what I'm saying here is that you have a pop-up on this page that says, you know, not sure if you want to get this yet, or something like that. Whatever you would like to give away that is attached to this, that would make, and again, if you already have a funnel happening in front of this, if you already have a lead magnet that relates to this, and then this is a page that they wind up on later, then totally scrap what I'm talking about right now. But if this is just itself a standalone, the only place where people are going to learn about this, then make sure that you have a way to capture leads from it. And the best way to do that is to just take a little piece of it, a little bit of value that they can DIY and get a result from this program that you're offering, and allow them to have that for free. And then you can sell them on this in the inbox and continue pointing them back toward actually sealing the deal and paying for it.
Okay, great.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. Good job.
Thank you so much.
Of course. All right, we had a few more questions, then we're going to close off. You guys, thank you so much for being here and sticking around. Erlene says I'm on annual, but I'm not up for renewal until, okay, so if you have questions about taking advantage of the Diamond Bound promo and you are on annual, definitely just reach out to us. We could talk about options with you, support@getoiling.com. Is there a training that will walk me through how to customize my website instead of using templates like the two you showed? We have lots and lots and lots of these on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/getoiling. And then if you search that little teal question mark bar in the back of your Get Oiling, when you sign into Get Oiling in your dashboard, you'll be able to see a number of different ways you can do that as well. We have custom pages training in the 90-day challenge in the help section of Get Oiling, but you will find all of those resources on that little question mark box. All right, I'm happy to speak in my style, yet would like to have help with grammar and spelling. Do you have an app you would recommend? So Grammarly is a really popular thing to use. Because you do want to make sure that you spell correctly, right? So people do understand what you're saying. But I just wouldn't follow Grammarly too closely on the grammar side, because it does need to read back and sound like you speak when you're writing. And just be comfortable with your voice, right? Spell check, that's fine. You'd be fine with spell check. All right, and if you're actually doing your writing ahead of time in a word processor, then that's a very easy and simple thing to do. All right, Heidi says a session on sales page contents and how to create a good one would be great. Noted, Heidi, noted. All right, Jean says, everyone here seems to have another focus other than Young Living Oils. What is it if you don't have another niche? So actually, it's not that people have a focus other than Young Living. It's that when you brand yourself, you as a whole person and not a roadside banner for Young Living, you have things that you're passionate about, right? That doesn't mean that you have to be a coach or have another stream of income or do anything other than, than sharing Young Living, but you share Young Living for a reason. You have other hobbies and habits and friends and things that you do in your life. So yes, it is quite common, and you are seeing frequently that there are people who use our platform who do more than just offer Young Living, but that doesn't mean that you can't use all of this in the same way. It's really a mindset shift, right? When you start presenting yourself as the product, not Young Living, yourself, what you know, what you have here, what you know you can help people do, the way you communicate changes. The way you talk to people changes. The way you present yourself changes. You become then a magnet for people who want the result that you know how to get. All right, and you don't have to differentiate yourself by saying you're a coach or this or that, or have any other separate income stream or anything other than Young Living to do this. It's a mindset shift where you can say declaratively, I help this type of person get this kind of result. So who are you? What are the results that you have learned how to get? What's important to you? And then of course, who is it that you want to serve? Who do you want to surround yourself with? And what do they want more of that you know how to help them get? Just start with that. It doesn't have to be something that's enormous. It doesn't have to be a 7-figure goal even. It's really about shifting your mindset so that you can be of service, right? Because if all we're doing is saying, okay, I have Young Living, and if I sign people up, then this is how I make money, then that means I have to go and promote this and promote this and promote this. And the thing is like the promoting stuff, it works to a degree when it's a new thing for the people who are around you. But that's something that kind of falls flat before long, right? So what you want to do is actually just shift your language, shift your mindset so that the value proposition isn't that you are a Young Living distributor. The value proposition is that you know and understand what a certain kind of person needs and wants, and you are here to help them get it. Is Young Living a part of you helping them get it? You bet it is. But if that's the first thing that comes out of your mouth, they're probably not going to listen, because remember, you're talking about what you think they need and not what they know they want. All right? All right, Erlene says, is there a way to allow content in a vault to only show up when you want it instead of it being there all the time? Yep, absolutely. When you are in your vault and you're managing your vault, if you look all the way over to the right on the list, there's a little eyeball icon. And when you click that and there's a line through it, then nobody sees it but you. And it won't show up for your people. All right, you guys, great questions today, great participation. Remember, if you want a website review, getoiling.com/website review, all one word. And yeah, come back here, getoiling.com/weekly work session. Guys, make sure, I probably missed a lot of questions because they didn't come into the Q&A, but we are running a little over 10 past the hour, so we got to get going. Thank you guys for being here. Team, you got anything you want to close us out with?
No, it's been good. I've been trying to field the questions in chat, but yeah, if you didn't get your question answered, certainly email us at support@getoiling.com. We'll try to help you out there as best we can. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.